Yo, 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 what's up, traders? It is Steve Tileman here with Trade the Pool, back again. Thanks for your patience. I know Snowman's been waiting for me. Let's go, he says. I had to check in with my boys, Neil and Sean, over at Trader TV. Hope you guys caught that appearance. We covered a lot of ground there, so if you didn't get a chance, maybe tune in after we get done here, because there's good stuff there. But we got a lot on deck right now for you guys. We got a big earnings, actually a couple earnings to prep for here. So I want to talk about that in just a minute, but we got a few minutes. Let's talk about what's going on since we last talked. It's been a while, right? Been almost an hour here. So let's give us a small shout out to the new folks in here. I see you, PKU Dad, in the house. He says, hello, just came from the other stream you were on. Good stuff. Thank you so much, man. Great to hear from you. Good to see you in here. And we got some good stuff going on here. So we'll be talking Netflix and ISRG earnings tonight. Obviously, star of the show is Netflix, but I was just talking medtech devices over there with the Trader TV guys. I wanted to throw this in, so we wrapped this up and threw it in the mix. One other name to keep an eye on tonight. If you're not into the tech, if you're not into the medical stuff, we also have Alcoa Aluminum pulling back after quite a run. Now down almost 50% from those peaks about a month ago. 43, 44 and change there. So is the blood finally over in some of these material spaces? Alcoa Aluminum, of course, but you're seeing this on, well, just about all the materials. CLF in the steel sector getting beat on. FCX, my baby, in the copper sector, having no fun. Do I believe in these names long term? Yeah. Do I believe in them right now? It doesn't feel very good. So maybe AA can give us a little bit of color on the commodity mining side of things. Maybe turn the tapes there a little bit. We got Lele Loveco in the house. Greetings, he says. Sorry, he or she. You're all welcome here. Come on in. Trader TV Live. I followed you over. I appreciate that so much. Talk saying they trimmed ISRG. Let's take a look at the chart there. See how that one's rocking and rolling. Pull it full screen for y'all. So this is one that I caught the bottom of thanks to somebody in my community, great trader who specializes in this space, threw me the buy signal at about 438. That was last year. I rode this thing all the way up to 600. Did I take profit? No, I did not. My 2-share position is now slightly red again, and I'm looking to see, is it time to add? Quite possibly, because what we're looking for is kind of a bread and butter setup for me. I love when a name comes back into its prior cycle highs. You can see this is the major high that it made all the way from 126 all the way up to 375 or so before pulling back majorly. Well, we overran that target. Now, if we're stair-stepping on up, what I'd love to see is a move back here and a confirmation. So I talked about this as well. We got a little bit of a, I say a little bit, but this is a pretty decent pullback. Yeah, 12% pullback here before surging. What is this, 100%? 70%. So this kind of leapfrog here, that's where I'm seeing a nice response so far. Now we're trading with a nice bottom wick into a potential bullish catalyst. If we close the week over this 200 week moving average, for me, it's a buy signal. And I'll throw you one more that's given a beautiful buy signal. Same thing. We've been watching it for 3 weeks now, finally getting the surge. Called this one out yesterday. So my guys said, hey, it's finally time to add. So loving Microsoft here and hoping we can tie it all together with the other print tonight. Netflix, a similar setup. Seeing a lot of these guys. Major prior highs, we surge higher, we come back in and check back in as the moving average catches on up. Nice confluence there. Adrian in the house, he says, I don't want to. Well, that's too damn bad. You're having a hard day though, man? I'm sorry to hear. Got nuked today, stopped out of 5 swings. That's tough, man. So I'm assuming it was the data center ones that got you. The IRENs, the NBISs, that's rough. Oof. We got to change our smiley face. We're not happy about it anymore. There we go. In fact, we're mad. We're mad. We didn't get red line. That's what happens when you do a bullish line with a red candle. Market gods don't approve. Red crayon, I should say. So we gotta reevaluate here. We clearly are not getting this. And this is the unfun part of trading that your furu won't tell you about. Whole lot of reevaluating. So strong convictions held lightly. Adrian gets it. He's a real trader. He's not doing this for funsies. Well, at least not just for funsies. So, Really sorry to hear you're having a bad day, but hey, this is the medicine, right? If we get the big moves by being in these kind of positions that are high flyers, the momentum trades, we got to be respectful of our stops, take those lumps and keep on trucking here. It's got clipped on in Nokia as well. This was one that I was watching too. I was thinking that we might get down. Yeah, I had some alerts here for the daily gap to be filled and off of this weekly trigger as well. So daily gap was right here. We just kind of smashed on through it and keep on cooking down. I was hoping that would hold because it was the 21-week moving average as well. Seeing it flush like this, a little bit worrisome, and I think this probably needs more time to cool off, trade sideways, and rebase here. Still very bullish on the longer time frame, but hey, these big downtrend lines, we got to respect them because they are hard to digest. Sometimes it can take a very long time. I always think about Oxy. The amount of times over the past 5 years I thought this thing was going to break this downtrend. You can count them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times I thought it was. And each time I've been very wrong. So whenever you see a chart like that, the Nokia major downtrend line, you got to respect the sellers into this level and just say, hey, I need to wait for the proper structure, the swoop down, the higher low, off a key level. Maybe we look for a wick or a move down into this kind of chunky level where we spiked up that once. You can see it's also the 50% of the major range. That is the next area that I'm interested in. So maybe the 21-week or 21-month moving average there as well. Tyler's in the house. Good to see you, brother. How you doing, man? Let's see. Snowman, our good friend Alejandra Trades will be on soon. Don't you worry. Don't you sweat. Don't turn that dial. She is coming. All right, here's Mike Ryder in the house with the energy. Giving us the yo. What is up, man? How are you doing today? Slow day for you? I heard you say you were going to get out on the water earlier. That sounds like the best trading plan, honestly. We got another new name in here. Nathaniel, welcome, welcome. What do you think about NBIS and Marvell? MRVL. I think it's an overreaction, but man, is it scary. It can go to 100 or 150. Absolutely. Well, I'm kind of with you. Overreaction, I'm not so sure about that because what goes up 300% in 3 months? Man, I called that 305. What goes up 300% in 3 months must come down. We are still overextended on this monthly, in my opinion, but starting to get back down here to a buyable, potentially buyable level if we can find support. So now it's just a matter of where do buyers step in. So far, this is ugly. We had this really high volume looking for the breakout. I was one of those guys looking for the breakout. I'm finally red today on this, by the way, guys. I took a position at 195. And at the end of this week, at the end of tomorrow, I'm going to have to make a hard decision. We will see if the AI trade is well and truly over for the time being. Here's the thing, guys. I've had the luxury of getting yeehawed 30% up and down on this small position. Should I have managed it better? Probably, but I was trimming the big ones. I was trimming the the ARM primarily, and my other semiconductor trades into strength. I won't say I caught the top, but that allowed me to hold this position all the way back down because it was conviction for me. Now, that strong conviction is going to have to be held lightly, and I'll probably have to take the stop on this weekly candle. I was really hoping to dig my heels in and get a weekly close over this 21-day, and that'll be break even for me if we do close above there. That is my line in the sand for that weekly candle, though. So I'm not sure, Nathaniel, and I won't steer you wrong. I just don't know. We got to watch and wait. I was talking about how a lot of the chips, the leaders, looking a little bit dire. Could they catch? Absolutely. I was saying the same thing about AMD here at 190 before it said, hold up. We're just getting started, baby. Do I think we get one of these moves? No. I think that the easy money in chips has been made for the year. I do think that the leading chips will end the year higher than they are currently, but that's strong conviction held lightly. So we'll see. What I will say is the majority of my risk on positions, not in chips anymore. Very small amounts, and they're mostly in the actual index itself, XSD. So that's just for convenience because that and lithographers. I'm also still holding shares of ASML. This one holding up very nicely. I did not pull the trigger on AMAT at 600, and yeah, still glad I didn't do that. But this is a name that I'd be looking for a dip buy in as well. One last one for you before we get on into the earnings. TSM, I think it's a great company. Maybe we redraw this just a little bit. It's not perfect. I'm just going to take it off. Regardless, very strong company. I do see these guys being an integral part of the infrastructure build out going forward. One last one that I think is really good for the dip buys, and actually I'll say better than TSM, Broadcom. AVGO, Broadcom, I think this one's going higher, and I think this one has been kind of left out of a lot of the big move that we've seen in the past year or so. That being said, a little more boring than some of the high flyers like Marvell. So NVIDIA and Broadcom, this is where the majority of my chip exposure will be. Right now, it's mostly in NVIDIA and ASML. A little bit of XSD, like I said, just for some rounded out exposure there. I won't lie to you. I don't know what's going to happen. This is a very tough time to predict in my book. So worth noting there. And tune in, guys, because we are going to have a visitor very shortly here. Just give me a thumbs up when you're there. He is. We're bringing on our good friend, Jesse. How you doing, brother?
Ding dong. How are you, Steve? I'm doing pretty well. Good to see you, man.
Awesome. Likewise, I'm doing a little bit better now that you're here. I've been lonely. I've been talking to myself. So good to have somebody to bounce things off of. How was your trading day today? Make any moves?
I did make some moves. I blew an account earlier, got into another one, and actually did okay. Did pretty well. I was just taking some afternoon trades on MU, so
Okay.
did fairly well with that. And yeah, so just took one afternoon trade, and other than that, live to trade another day, as they say.
I love it. I love it. My favorite thing, one of my favorite things about you, Jesse, you're just so damn likable, pleasant. You had a bad day. I'd be a grump over here.
I
Meanwhile,
am a girl.
you're vibing
This
out and
is
you're
me
already making
grumpy.
back.
This is me angry right now. I'm
This is
so frustrated.
you. Well, that's why you're a good fellow, man. That's why you're a good hang. And I'm sure if we had a chance to get a beer at the bar and hang out, we'd have a great time.
One of these
But
days we will. One of these days
yeah,
we will.
we got to. And hey, maybe with you guys out there too. I would love to do a meetup, not just with all the team. Some of y'all haven't met in person yet, but just everybody out there too. It's good folks. Of course, I say this in the context of, Jesse, did you see that headline out of South Korea? Some financial advisor got stabbed or something. One
No,
of his
I
customers
did not. No, I didn't see this. What
I'm not
happened?
giving you guys ideas, but it goes to show always a good idea to be good to all of our viewers out there. Not that we wouldn't be anyway, but it's tough times out there. It's tough times out there for financial advisors, which is why we're not giving financial advice. Just taking some trades along here with you guys. So Jesse, you said you took a trade on MU. You want to talk about that really quickly? Was that a
I
short?
did. Sure. It was a short. Hold on one second. Let me pull up my chart. I actually do have it pulled up here. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, take your time.
And I will share my screen, and I will warn you, my computer's kind of been running a little slow today. Hopefully I won't have any problems, but in case something drops off, I will reconfigure.
No worries. We got we'll do the baton pass. You got me, you, and we got Alejandro coming in a little bit, I do believe.
Wonder,
So we'll be able to triple team it.
wonderful.
Yeah, just really
All
quick in the
right. Tell me
meantime
when you
while you get
see my
that.
screen, brother.
Let's
I have it
see.
pulled up.
Let me find it. I bet we can go to. I'm actually not 100% sure. Ayush, if you could maybe look into why I'm not able to see it on the studio mode side. But we'll definitely get into that trade there in just a moment. I can also pull it up on my screen if that's easier.
Sure.
But just noting.
Yeah, totally. You can pull it up on yours.
Okay.
I can tell you where I got in at. All of a sudden, my screen on my end is actually frozen with my chart.
No worries.
So
talk it out with me. Walk me through it.
Yep.
You want a 1 minute
All
or
right.
a 5 minute here, or something else?
Let's do a 1 minute because that's where I got in at. So I was
Nice.
in at 205. At let's see, price point. I think it's 845.50.
845.50. Okay, right around there. Let's see. I like it. I like
845.50 and averaged in at 847.05.
Okay.
Or averaged down because it went against me, but I averaged down. Oh, there my computer finally goes. Jeez, I'm so sorry. It's so slow.
No worries.
Don't know what's going on.
So did you?
On.
You were
okay.
were
So
you,
anyway, I sat in it for probably. Was I what?
I think you cut out there a
Say
little
again,
bit.
Steve?
It almost looked like you were doing a Trump face there. Oh no! And now there he goes. All right, we'll get Jesse back in just a second. Sorry about that, guys. Sounds like he got pulled just a little bit here before hunkering down, averaging in, and getting the nice trade because we knew that this was a week one overall. It just needed to run stops up to VWAP. Sounds like he wasn't oversized and predicting, or at least anticipating, the potential move up there. So nice, probably nice trade management. We got to talk once he gets back. Till then, though, guys, let's start jumping in. Well, I'll get through some comments here while we get him back. Adrian's holding TSM heavy, not selling a single share. And on a longer time frame, I think you're right to do that because, man, this does not look like a stock that you want to panic sell on the first red weekly candle, right? This looks like one that is a continuous up and to the right. We call these unicorns. Even if it needs to trade sideways for a couple months, year or two, I don't see this company being less important going forward. And like Adrian says, they're the literal backbone. Them, NVIDIA, Broadcom. I think Broadcom is a good one too. And hey, Adrian agrees. He's liking it, saying it feels so much stronger than the overall basket. Well, we do not have to just trade off feels. Let's check it out. There you go. So for quite a while, for over a year, it had been drastically underperforming semiconductors. Same as NVIDIA. Very close or very similar in that regard. Now we're seeing 3 weeks of stark outperformance, and this is at a key level here. It's basically back testing the breakout that Broadcom had versus other semiconductors when they were just ripping and roaring here. And I guess I was watching this ratio chart a while back here in February of last year as well. That flag did break out, and now hopefully on the back test here we can continue to push up. Welcome back, my friend. How you doing?
Hey, I am back. Yes. So I don't know if you want to look at that again with the EMU trade here real quick before we talk Netflix, because I definitely want to get your thoughts on Netflix. I know I have my own. But anyway, so 845.71 was my buy-in, the first time on the 1 minute chart. And I bought in again. I averaged down at 846.96 with some more shares. Hung around for a little while until 217, where I sold everything. 216. It sold everything at 844.60.
844.60. Okay, so I think I messed something up on the time zone conversion here. Oh, because you're not East Coast, are you?
I'm sorry. I should have told you. I'm Central Standard.
I know that, but I just wasn't.
No, you're good, brother. I should have led with that. That's my bad. We have all of these different time zones that we're all trading in. But yeah.
Well, I was gonna say it looks like you got tore up here, and I was like, man, that's a tough one. It looked like you got smoked a little
earlier. I did get smoked earlier, but this was a winning trade. This was a winning scalp.
Does this look more correct? You were averaging on this little pump, and then you got the new low there.
The new low. Yep. That looks correct.
Okay, excellent. I see. Yeah, that looks much better there. Okay, nice. So it tore you up a little bit, but you hung in there. Sounds like you weren't oversized or anything. And
no, I went in small share size, averaged down a little more, added a little, and then it went back in the direction of bearishness, which is where I overall thought the trend was going. Because, as you know, semiconductors today, wow, we have really fallen off the wagon with semiconductors 2 days in a row. And I know he gets a lot of hate from various people, but I will say I've been reading Michael Burry. He just the other day, he called the AI short again, and I think he put his money where his mouth is. And ever since then, the semis have been going down. All that, but I will say, in defense of, not in defense of Burry, I have seen this, as you have too, Steve, so many times. We get almost 3 days sometimes of bearishness with semiconductors, only for them to rip and come back. So are we just in a healthy pullback, or is this more like, whoa, we should actually be concerned if we're in positions like DRAM, some of these ETF holdings with the semiconductors?
It's tough. I am a fence sitter here. And so I am taking the easy way out and saying, all I know is that the easy trade has been done. The easy trade has been made, and I'm just not sure exactly where we're going next. So for me, it feels like the most like smart alecky thing to say now. It's like, well, I was in from down here and from here. So I'd be down to big time runners, if at all, left in this position, because I'm all about capturing that easy 80% of the move,
Sure.
The easy chunk once it's confirmed. And then when it starts to get sketchy up here, I'm usually bailing down to runners. And does that mean I miss some amazing continuations? Yes. I was all out of CrowdStrike down on this candle. I sold the low on CrowdStrike for the last tranche, but I took my first tranche, still much lower, for a 25 and really 50% gain because I did 2x shares. And then the next one I took on like I think this big surge candle here because just holy moly, we're up through my levels already and now surging higher. So it's down to 1/3 left, and then we had earnings and they flushed on earnings. So I was all out and I missed a nice 30% continuation. Would have been 60% on those 2x shares. But that's fine. That's my trading style. That's the bet I've made. Same deal for names like ARM.
Yep, ARM's a big one.
Tranche out up here.
Yep.
Somewhere like 220. One tranche out up here at the 300. I wish I had sold the very top. You can see it actually perfectly tagged that 2 times measured move. I was busy doing other things. I wasn't paying enough attention. I checked back in a few days later, said, "Hey, I know my system. A daily close under the 50-day with no follow through. That's going to get me out." This barely kept me in. I bounced. I was pretty happy, and then this day, definitive red under there. I had to stop out of the last tranche there. Could it rip higher like CrowdStrike? It could, but that's not an easy trade for me anymore, and that's what I got to recommend. And so just bringing it back to Michael Burry. It really is the worst, but you got to respect that, hey, he took the short. He took the short at 1,050, and that was essentially on the close under that 21-day. So, you hate to see it. It's heartbreaking. The worst person, just made a great point. It could be the top of the sector. I don't know. But I'm not going to do the whole bear porn thing. I'm not going to say the sky is falling and tell you to buy my Substack. You're welcome to buy my Substack, but I'm not going to give you that there on it. That's how I'm kind of feeling. It's just, it's so much easier to say I don't know and be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's wise to be a fence sitter at this point. I think overall, semiconductors are not out of play. We're not completely out of rotation with them. I don't think MU and the rest of the sky of semiconductors are going to be falling, but there are some uncertainties. There are some questions right now regarding the markets, regarding competition within the markets of semiconductors. And one trend that I have personally noticed is, whenever the Korean markets fall in the night, we wake up and then our semiconductors are falling behind. So I don't know if it's, who's wagging what tail, exactly how that works. But that's one trend that I do notice is Korean markets fall, and then what falls behind it, typically the next day, MU, Marvell, and the like. So that's one thing that I've noticed.
It's tricky, right? And I'm not an expert on this either. So I'd love for the OGs in here, the Talks, the Crows, the Mr. Adrians, the the Smoke Tunas and the like, to tell me their opinions. But it seems like Kospi plays catch up in like the morning session to the US markets, and then it can either take the ball and run with it and keep that move going, or it can start to kind of give it back. So it's kind of like half arbitrage, half just crazy leverage reactions, mechanical reactions to the amount of leverage, like Talk saying, the leverage there in the Kospi market. Jesse, fun statistic, not so fun if you or your family are from Korea, but 1 in 30 South Korean accounts got margin called last week.
I read something of this today on X. That is nuts. Oh my gosh, 1 in 30.
I bet you it's going to be 1 in 20 by the time all is said and done after the smoke settles in this one too.
Well, I'll tell you what's not margin called is if you check out the link in the chat, everyone, we have a 25K trading account giveaway. It's pinned in our chat. We're going to announce the winner at the end of the stream. So 25K, we're giving it away. Check it out. Link in the description.
Love it. Love it. That's a professional right there. What a segue.
Right? There you go.
I'm trying to work on my segues, and they're rarely that smooth. So shout that out. Let's see.
Love Koo. What does that mean? Are you talking about what we're talking about with the Korean markets? Or are you talking about the 25K eval? Let us know. Be happy to answer.
And I'll take that. I'll field that one. Assuming it is about the eval, well, you have a chance to win a completely free trading account with us. What that means, we're a prop firm. So we give you, well, in this case, we literally give you, otherwise you'd buy a prop account. This is an eval challenge. Usually for those 25K accounts, the goal is to make $2,000 before you lose $1,000. So essentially, if you can prove to us that you are a solid trader, can hit those 2 to 1 risk reward targets, well, then you make the 2,000 in the evaluation account. It resets to 0 or to flat. But now, if you make another 2,000, you pass the test. You get to withdraw as much of that as you like. So that's the big thing here. You can buy an $100, $200 account. Maybe you earn one for free. Maybe you win one for free by hanging out with us. And then you're a few good trades away from passing that and starting to actually make real money off of that smaller investment. So it's great for traders who have the chops, but maybe not the capital at the moment. It's also great for newer traders because I'll tell you what's the deal. What am I saying? I'll tell you what the deal is. The deal is trading doesn't get real until there's actual risk tied to it. You can trade a paper account all day long till the cows come home. If you switch to a real money account, not everything, a lot will go out the window because the psychology is completely different. And Jesse, I'd say psychology is at least half of this game, if not more. You think that's fair?
Doubt. Oh, no
Okay,
doubt, no
absolutely.
doubt. Books
Yeah.
like Trading in the Zone, I would highly recommend that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Bible.
psychology when it comes to the markets is, I don't know, would you say it's over 50%? Because I feel like it might be closer to 70%. I can speak subjectively. For me,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
the psychology of the markets, and your own self, your own psyche is so big. FOMO is so real at times,
Mhm.
right? Fear of missing out, and the ability to go on tilt so quickly is always there and present among any trader. Like learning to manage your emotions, learning to manage your own self is,
Mm.
to me, it's the hardest part of
Yeah.
trading.
Well, absolutely. I think it's the hardest part of life, Jesse. And I think this is why trading is so soul crushing if you can't get your head around it, because you have to look in the mirror and say, I don't have the discipline yet.
Hmm.
Always frame it like this, guys. Yet. You're not failing, you're working on succeeding. You're in the process of succeeding. And I think it's really important to frame it this way. But guys, this is a very hard game, but it is the only one that's worth sticking with. This is the way you can achieve financial freedom for yourself. This is how I have scraped myself out of having to work BS minimum wage jobs, throwing my back out every other week, worried about my health insurance not covering this stuff, every other thing you can imagine. That fear mentality, that's a lot of people are in that spot and getting more. Every month that goes by, financial situations, there's bifurcation, right? You're either doing well, you're a stock market American, most of your net worth's in the market, or you're struggling probably to some degree. That's no fault of your own, but the way that you can achieve a direct path from skill and hard work to actual results, the bootstrap mentality, it's not dead. The American dream is not dead. It has just shifted to, you probably have to boost those returns in the financial market. But more importantly, guys, becoming a disciplined trader means you're a disciplined person. I know that I used to not really like who I saw in the mirror maybe 5 years ago, and now I actually feel good about myself, and it's because I did the hard work here, and I think you guys all can too. So when you hear that 90% of traders fail, yeah, 90% of people aren't really willing to do the work to make themselves better in a disciplined way like that, at least in my opinion. So
I love
guys,
what Lily Loveku says, this is my freedom program. I am retired and trading for extra cash. And
beautiful. Yes.
I think this is a she. Forgive me if it's not. It says,
I didn't
I
want to
quit
assume.
my,
Yeah.
so yeah, I don't want to assume, but it just is from the picture, tiny little picture that I can see. Just, you don't have to disclose this either, Lily. But so I took my paper account from 100K to 1.2 million in 10 months
Wow.
because it was paper
Beautiful.
money. Well, sounds like you might be
Yep.
ready to get an eval account with us, or it sounds like that's pretty good, Lily. Good job.
Absolutely. No, that's awesome. And I think that it really goes to show. So I was going to say, we're talking about the split, right? How much is psychological? How much is otherwise? I think it's the 80-20 rule, the Pareto principle there. I think if you spend 80% of your time focusing on the mental side of it, that's where it's really going to shine, because you know what? I'll be completely honest. I'm a technical analyst. It's the easiest part of my job. I feel like a toddler drawing pictures, looking for crayons, looking for patterns. Pattern recognition, we can all do it. That's what human brains do. The hard part is discerning between the good patterns, the A+ setups, and just the noise that your brain wants to infer too much from, wants to extrapolate from, and wants to just hit those buttons, get those dopamine. So cutting those trades out and focusing on the A+, that's where you fall into that 80% of the time where I think you should be spending working on the mental game. I know it's not the fun answer, but I do think it's true. So guys,
Snowman
VIX
says, I
futures, what just
quit my
happened?
day job. Snowman says, I quit my day job Wednesday. Full-time trader now. That's great, Snowman.
Love it.
Hope everything goes
Awesome.
well for you.
I'm sure it will. No, he's got the right kind of head on his shoulders, I believe, in Mr. Snowman there. He ain't melting anytime soon. VXX, though, also not melting here, it looks like. So this is the futures of the VIX, basically. And, we are seeing a nice curl up. Oh, thank you for those kind words. Lily Love Koo. Absolutely. We appreciate you being here. But, Guys, we got just under 10 or just over 10 minutes left in cash session. Netflix coming out 5 minutes after the bell. That means I got just under 15 minutes to get you guys set up for success here. Jesse, you ready to hop into it here?
Ready, ready, ready. Absolutely. And I'm going to
Awesome.
set up our account to where we can actually do some trading as well with
Boom.
this. Woohoo.
Love it. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to watch Netflix on the 1 minute chart, just on the right side of our screen here, or sorry, yeah, right side of our screen here while we talk fundamentals. Also, did I mention I'm dyslexic? It'll be the left side of your screen there. What's the difference? You know what I'm saying.
What's
There
the
we go.
difference?
What's the deal with your lefts and your rights? The worst Seinfeld bit ever. Okay, so we have Netflix, we have ISRG. Let me pull up my notes and we'll get right into it.
And just up front, I am personally bearish on it. So that's my sentiment. We can go into more particulars, of course, but as you're pulling it up, I just want to say my sentiment is perhaps bearish tonight for Netflix.
So that's
Of course,
what we're
we
doing
will
today,
see.
Jesse. That's what we're doing. We're going to fight today. All right, that's fine.
Let's fight it out, baby. Let's fight it out.
We can have fight day. Sometimes in my Discord, we have a running joke. Like when it's a rough day in the market, everybody's tension's a little bit higher. Sometimes we just get a little snappy, and you just got to call it out and say, are we cranky? Do we need a Snickers? Is that what's going on? Is it fight day? Let's chill out, guys. All right, guys. Hopefully we're not too over leveraged in chips, and that's not the case. But either way, let's talk a little Netflix here. So two big names after the print. Netflix, obviously the number one here, but ISRG, Intuitive Surgical, worth watching as well. Here's what I'm looking for. The headliner, yeah, Netflix, of course, the big one, 5 minutes after the bell. I'm kind of bullish. Jesse, taking the other side of that, it sounds like we're going to hear what they have to say. And I think that the live call is really where it's going to move. And we'll talk about why that is. But we'll look at the numbers and what we're looking for as well. So the first thing I want you guys all to pay attention to tonight, this is the first summer earnings print since Netflix split. They did a 10 for 1, and that was back in November. So when you see the $74 handle on your screen, don't worry, it's not the crash if you haven't been trading this one for a while. The second name, really quickly, Intuitive Surgical. This is going to be a fascinating one for the names that I'm trading, those Boston Scientifics, those kind of beat down names that really, I think, need some kind of narrative flip to really get going there. It's down 30% on the year, and it's coiled. So we'll talk that after as much as we have time for, because that one's coming 40 minutes after the bell. So we got a little bit of time there. Got a little bit of time. So let's get into the brass tacks here. Want to talk implied moves first off. If I can find it. So Netflix sitting about.
I'm going to see if you can convince me to come out. I'm going to see if you can convince me to come out of my bearish sentiment here. So
Let's get him out of his cage.
watching and anticipating.
Fair enough. So it looks like an 8.5% move being priced in at this point based on the out-the-money straddles of the weekly expiry. So an 8% move, 9% move to the upside gets us right at about that $80 handle, right into that falling 50-day moving average, right into this point of control, recent point of control, where we kind of based and then fell off. That is your upside target. If we really outperform, really get a solid beat, you could be looking for a little bit more, maybe in the kind of up to 85 range. I would not expect this thing to go over 87.5, no matter what they say, because that would be an insane 20% move. Realistically speaking, that kind of 7, 6, 8, 9%, up to 10, I think that's the money. The money zone right there for the upside. To the downside, that would put us, well, at another key level where I need to show on the weekly. About 9% to the downside would be a flush of this key 200-week moving average. That would be putting us right at about the 67 handle there. So what I'd love to see is an undersized move to the downside on maybe good numbers, but not insanely stellar numbers, because the sentiment, not so great on this. The chart, not amazing. It probably needs some time to chop out. I'd love to see it speedrun that chopping out of the 200-week by flushing and reclaiming, putting my entry where I'd like to get in around $70, $71 there for the potential longer-term position trade. Moving on into it, let's talk some details here. Let's talk details. Here we go. Bear with me while I catch up on my notes.
You're good. And just
when I go
to
off.
point this you're good, just to point it out, it's been a little bullish today. Not up too much, but it is up today. It's been up pretty much all day, point like 14, 15, 16%. So Netflix has been doing okay today.
Absolutely. I just want to also check in now with the Netflix over Mag 7 chart. So, not much action here, but yeah, absolutely outperforming the mega caps, which are also a little bit of a lifeboat, life raft, safety raft in this kind of choppy tape here, with the leaders taking a breather and washing out a little. So, a few things to talk about here. The bigger picture is that, well, let's see. First off, big picture, sitting at about $74 here, basically flat on the day, up about 0.5%, like we mentioned. No big pre-positioning move, so the market's not tipping its hand. At least wasn't. Now we're starting to get a little bit of power here in the last 5 minutes. Worth noting. Bigger picture here is they quietly changed what they even report. So as of last year, they stopped giving us quarterly subscriber counts. So the number the whole world used to trade off of, the net ads, it's gone. So that's deliberate. Management wants you looking at revenue and engagement and margin instead of a head count that they've largely saturated in the developed world. So at this point, there's not many people who are like, oh, it's Netflix. Oh, I haven't heard of that. Oh, yeah, I'll try this out. We're kind of past that point. It's Netflix and chill. It's into our nomenclature. It's part of our, it's saturated essentially. So the paid membership is north of 325 million, and they've stopped treating that as the scoreboard. Going into tonight, I'm not waiting on the sub number. I'm waiting for 3 other things, though. So number 1, revenue growth, very important. That operating margin, also very important. And the last one here, the ad business. So that's now actually the real growth engine in my book here. Seeing a nice push on this 1-minute candle here as well. Let's see if it can break above that 74.42. Give us some more hints that we want to go up. I like to see, relatively flat during the day, and then start to see a little bit of risk appetite into the bell there, as people are like, oh, I got to get involved if I want to, Let's see what we got here. Moving on, I want to talk about just a few other things. Well, first off, Reed Hastings, he stepped down as chairman recently too. So there's a bit of a leadership transition narrative that some folks will kind of poke at here. I don't think it moves the stock too much, but you'll hear it mentioned, so I just wanted to put it on your radar there. Getting into what I think is a little more interesting, that bull and bear case here. We got 4 more minutes. I'm going to try to run through this and then leave you with the bull and bear case in time for us to trade and talk levels. So the segment I'm watching most closely is that ad revenue, those ad revenue metrics. Whoops. And essentially, the ad-supported tier is now past 250 million monthly active users. So that's an enormous audience that Netflix has built up almost from a standing start. And for this quarter, the streets got ad revenue pegged at around $666 million. Ooh, spooky. The 666 handle there. But the number that matters is the run rate. So Netflix has publicly said that it wants to roughly double advertising revenue in 2026 to about $3 billion for this year. So with the advertiser count up 60%, past 4,000 advertisers. So the question that I'm bringing here to the table is, it's pretty simple. What are they, or where are they on that path? Are they meeting that trajectory, or are they falling behind? Because I think that we got to consider the asymmetry here. Because if ad revenue is inflecting, if they sound confident about the 3 billion trajectory, well, that's the bull case for the stock that's priced, or that the stock is priced for, I should say. Here's the thing, though: if the language softens, if it's building the foundation instead of accelerating, well, we know what we've been looking for. If you caught my earnings report and how to parse them on that webinar, we talked about really watching the language that management uses. We're looking for specifically changes in tone. We want to hear about acceleration, not dynamics and volatility, for example, or not building a foundation. Those are much less confident than saying, pedal to the metal, baby, let's freaking go. That's what we want to hear as bulls, of course. So that's the asymmetry I'm looking for there. We want to hear the strong language, not that wishy-washy foundation building. This thing can give back that 8% in a hurry there if we do get that wishy-washy language. That being said, the audience is there, and the open question is whether or not Netflix is monetizing it as fast as the price demands. So far, market's liking it in these few candles. Really nice extension here. Going to sweep out the stops here. We'll see what it does after that. So we're doing okay on time. We've got a few more minutes. I'm going to give you a bit more color here. Let's talk margins and cost, content cost here. And I'll switch back to this kind of overview as well. Go.
Yes, Tack Dram got whacked. I see that. Still in
Which
my
one got
swing
what?
with
DRAM? Yeah.
DRAM. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, hey, at the end of the day, this is probably one of the safer ways to play it. You're just exposed to that South Korean volatility, of course, a little more than Micron, for example, or SanDisk. That being said, they are all going down together. This one washing out pretty harshly here. And until we get back over that 60, I'm gonna be treading lightly. But Netflix. We have the bell in 1 minute, by the way, guys. Make sure you wrap up those trades. Nice to see Netflix surging into that. But real quick, we're going to talk margins and content cost here. If we do get an early print, if we do hop into a trade, feel free to rip that screen right away from you, Jesse. I know that you're going to be trying to catch a move here if you see what you like.
There's the bell. Yep.
There's the bell.
Definitely get us in a trade. We are at 74.40 right now. And are we hitting a ceiling? Are we hitting a potential ceiling? High a day was 74.45.
Let's find out. I'll mark that level for us too. 74.45 was the high of the day, you said?
Correct. Yes.
All right. Let's see if I can figure out how to navigate this. There we go. Trying to poke above it real quick here. Okay, getting a little bit of giddy up in this candle already. That's a yeehaw through the 75. Always a little spooky to see it happen before the print here. So let me get ready to go. Make sure they didn't release early. I have it on the books as 5 minutes after here.
Oh, it's going. It pushed up 75.
75, yeah.
75 and more. Looking strong.
Bear with me 1 second.
And whenever I haven't gotten in a trade yet, but I do have my screen. Okay, now it just dumped.
Whoa! Right,
now it dumped.
All right, I'm checking for numbers here. This is the 200-week moving average. Almost there. We're going to mark it out on this 1 minute chart as well, sitting right about 70.80. 70.80. Big wick up so far, too. This is volatility. I'm looking for some numbers for y'all. Bear with me here.
I'm trying to get in on a short side now. Trying to get in at about 74.04.
He wants to crush me. I don't own any, but I'd like to.
It's not letting me in, though, because it's not reached my point here. Tried to sell the ask. So we'll see if it will fill me or not. I might want to try again here. Let's try again. 74, sell ask. Come on, get me in the trade. I'm bearish on you. I have been bearish all day. All day, Netflix. We should turn on Netflix, brother. We should turn on Netflix and chill. We could turn on The Fifth Element. I think Netflix has it.
Oh, no.
Netflix and chill with The Fifth Element.
This is my nightmare. You guys are short my company. You guys are hammering me on the one thing I haven't been able to have time to watch. That's fair. I deserve it. I'm also seeing no numbers yet. Just a little more context for y'all. We did have a little bit of slightly bullish flow into the bell there. We are seeing this bid up right back to our point of control here at 74. They're just washing the tape out from both sides in preparation of this number. Look at this, Jesse. Oh my goodness gracious. Are we going to zoot out the top here? Let's find out. Still waiting on any numbers. I'm expecting them in 3 minutes. I also saw someone else saying they're coming in 15. I don't trust them, but we'll see. Out the top here at 76 already, and I would imagine they're not going to make this.
Shares.
We're in? All right. Let's see.
We're in at 80 shares. I've averaged down. Our first point was 73.14, and then I added 40 more shares at 76.15. So we don't have as much to go down to actually get in profit. In fact, we are in profit.
Beautiful.
Now, $20. But I'm gonna sit in here. It was actually a perfect average in. I averaged in right at the very top. So
how about that?
Got us a good little average. Unless, of course, this thing just rips and goes to the upside, because. This is the part where my thesis is bearish. So if I'm correct, great. If you're correct, you're buying dinner this weekend for us, Steve, because I'm going to be out of funds.
Well, I also have no position here, so hopefully we don't both lose. I think that just the move up into the bell, it would make me feel a little bit spooked if I was long here, because it seems like they may be either they're front running, or they're ringing the register, pushing it up, getting that positioning, just like you are, averaging into their shorts, waiting for the big move down. We still are 2 minutes away from where I imagine we get the print. There was flow on short-dated 80 strike calls, which is right about that measured move up, but that's probably just the gamblers here.
Spread is not, it's not terribly loose, but it's not right on top of each other. So it's maybe a 10 to 20 cent spread. There we go.
Oh,
now,
let's go, baby.
We're falling down.
Crack it on down.
There it
I would
is.
expect there to be some buying force off of the 70, 80, 71, 70, that kind of zone, just because that's the 200 week that we're kind of looking at. Those, they can be messy. They don't have to transact to the penny and catch, so you might be getting some nice tranche out options there. Beautiful average in there, though. And I'm going to move this full screen for here. I don't know if we're on yours or mine, but oh, you're on your perfect. That's where the money's happening. No, we got nothing to show on mine. I'll let you know if there's something exciting. I want to see Jesse swinging, wheeling, and dealing as we try to break out of the range here. Beautiful trading.
We got a little profit. Just took 20 off the table. We have 60 shares left. There we go.
Let me get numbers for you. See if they did. Are we seeing numbers? I'm not yet. Am I delayed? Let me reload this page here. Out the bottom here. Excellent job there.
Come on now. I forget that it resets every time. Okay. We have 39 shares left.
Checking all of my usual suspects here. Let's try Earnings Whisper, see if that's coming up. Apologies, guys. I'm not sure why I'm not seeing it yet. There we go. Okay, just got it in. Okay, so we have revenue at $12.6 billion versus the estimate $12.6 billion. So in line there. EPS 80 cents versus the estimate of 0.79. So basically dead even there in terms of the two big numbers. But free cash flow sitting at $1.5 billion versus the estimate 2.6. That's not great. Guidance is what we want to hear about. Q3 guidance looks like revenue at $12.9 billion versus the estimate $12.9 billion, so exactly in line on the revenue. EPS for the guidance, 0.82 cents versus the estimate of 0.84. So a slight miss there, and another slight miss on operating margin, 33% versus that 34%. So remember, we were looking for the ad revenue, though. The fiscal year 26 ad revenue is still expected to double to $3 billion. So interesting price action there. And I'm sorry, I'm yapping. Did I hear a doorbell?
You did have a doorbell. Yes, somebody's here.
There he is.
Woo! Come on, man. I told you, Netflix. Give me the 50s. We are. Jesse, did you go short on this?
We went short on it, yep, and we're in good profit. We're out of most of our position, but I have kept 10 shares left.
Love it.
See if there's any more room to the downside.
Got it. Yeah, love it. Yeah, I got it in 20. Got it. Go ahead.
I was saying he's cold as ice. First move against him, he was ready for it. He's averaged the top.
Yeah, I got in 23 shares. And with Jesse, I actually got out not as many, or not down to as many. I'm down to actually 11 though. That's my wife's favorite number. So I went from 23 to 11, and now I'll sell 4 more, and I'll be down to 7, which is my favorite number. As we crack through 70 here in just a minute. I do have a one-on-one. I've got back-to-backs today. I didn't realize that. I was hoping to join you guys for the entirety of the Netflix earnings here. But give me some 69s, and I'll be taking a few more shares here. I just want to pop in real quick and say, you guys are amazing. You look like two studs that I wish I could hang out with, but too bad we live in different states.
Hey, soon. No, we're gonna one day we'll have a Trade the Pool compound. We'll have a whole ranch somewhere out in Arkansas. Somewhere out there.
And that would be great.
It'll be a whole thing. Here we go on Netflix. We basically went coast to coast on our very short time frame levels here. I'm looking at my screen. We had 2 zones drawn, one at 76 to 77, one at 70 to 71. We hit the top, bounced off, bing bong right down to the bottom. Now here we are digesting into the weekly 200. This is where the big buyers will show up if they believe that the ad revenue is worth holding this very whelming earnings report. I would call it very in line, nothing very exciting, and so far still cracking on that. There's the 69.
Let's go down.
Good place to take some off. There you go, baby.
Oh,
There you
wait,
go.
wait a minute. I told you yesterday. I told you last week. I told you to tell your grandmama. I told you to tell your granddaddy. Tell your uncles. Tell your cousins. Tell your friends. Tell your sisters. Tell your brothers. Tell your dogs. Tell your cats. Tell your birds. Where was Netflix going? It was going down, baby. Going DOWN down. And Steve, did you really take this picture, by the way, with your arm in the air? Because I need to start taking pictures like this. Is that how you do things? Right? Is that so? These pictures we have of you.
I don't even remember. I did a whole photo shoot when I got those. That's the most uncomfortable I think I've probably ever been. Having somebody snapping a bunch of pictures going, gorgeous, you're beautiful, keep going, strike a pose. And I was like, dude, this is so out of my comfort zone. Maybe I did one of those. I'm going with AI there. I'm calling AI. I'm calling BS.
That guy. Look at that guy.
I don't think I've ever been that in my life.
Look at his hair all did and stuff and pretty with the stash like Tom Selleck. You can't get much more handsome than that guy. Steve the Achieve. That's more that's not Crowbar Steve. That's definitely full on Steve the Achieve right there.
Man, I'm collecting endorsements for my like trading service. Maybe I should collect them for my Tinder profile too from you, Josh, because that's a shining review there if I ever heard one. So we're seeing just the hint of buying coming in off that 200 week, off of that 70 handle. Yes. Great place to ring the register there. Do we keep going down? Hell if I know. Like I said, guys, strong conviction held lightly. Josh and Jesse smoked me this week, and I'll respect it.
That's all right. I got to head. Look for one more pullback to possibly 67.50 here in after hours. And when we crack that 200, that's why it was a target of mine. Steve's all over it. Jesse's all over it. I got to head to a one-on-one. Also for small cappers, ATPC. Throw that up real quickly, Steve, on the chart. ATPC. That's for on watch for after hours move still here. So keep that one on watch. 2 tickers. Netflix, ATPC. I will see you guys, unless you're still on the stream here in about an hour. Otherwise, I'll see you guys tomorrow. That's right. You're going tomorrow? Yeah, that's where we get the Friday live stream, Steve. You better promote the crap out of that and smash that like button. 25K eval. Did y'all give that away already?
No, I was. This is a perfect segue. I was just about to say, guys, Josh may be heading out, but we got more in tune. Don't turn that dial. We're going to give away.
Love you guys.
Boom, 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 boom. Great to see you, brother. Oh, and he's out of here. Love it.
He's gone.
That's my second.
Just so you know, here's where we are with our trade. We have 5 shares left. We've sold out at the moment. Our net profit today is $227.25 off of this trade. So looking like dinner's going to be on me this weekend, brother.
I love it. I love it. Great trading. I'm really love how we didn't panic. Entry there. Love to see it, and also love to see that we didn't get greedy. We got an 8%. Yep. We're looking for an 8% move. There you go. Get more? Yeah, maybe. But we got the high time frame support here, and I wonder, do I fade y'all? And in fact, I am in my Roth going to buy. Let's do 5 shares so I don't freak out if this thing knifes on camera. I don't know where my co-host went, but we're gonna let's get that order in. Look. So. Taking just very small stab here. I'll put an order in for 70, see if it fills. Bada bing. Bada boom. Order been placed. Gotta love phone trading there. Very small position. I'm trying to, I don't know. I want to take the other side here. I'm feeling like a contrarian. I'm feeling like that ad spend still doubling going forward. So what if they're in line on the other stuff? That's all I really care about when I think about this as an investment, them kind of turning that corner. I think they're a little bit too cheap. I think this little washout may be looking like a decent place to get involved long term. Of course, the big pivot would happen on the call, so I'm not going crazy, but I am just dipping my toes, the very first dip, because I've owned 0 Netflix for, 5+ years now. I missed it on the way up and the way down. I think it's a good company. What can I say? What can I say? So let's take a look real quick at ATPC. ATPC, because that one is pushing. Oh, wow. Right now pushing through our range. Going to a 15-minute chart here because this is trying to take out the pre-market highs. Level to watch here, 489, 490 to be precise. Cash session high, 483. We're going to draw this little range out. As you can see, we transact, pull back a little bit, but we want to see that pop and flip if this thing's going to really rip. If so, a little bit wild there. Maybe not that much. I think we'd be looking for strong pop, a back test. You can look to get involved there. If you don't want to chase this, I wouldn't blame you. If you do want to get involved now, look to take a position off of this rising 9 moving average. Rising 9 sitting at 460 right now. If I did take this, I would have to hard stop under this for sure. But really, I wouldn't want to see more than this kind of 21 get violated on a candle close. So risky, like we talked about, and why I prefer the back test level off that level. Jesse back in the house. We're taking a look at ATPC here. A little small cap mover. What do you think is the proper way to enter this when you got a 3 knock here up on this pre-market high level, pulling back a little bit? I was saying maybe wait for the pop in the back test, even though it might miss you. Do you think that there's a better way to get involved here? Or just you're clear till you get that?
Oh, gosh. So that's 3 knocks. Don't you believe in the 4th knock? Right?
I do, but I also believe in fortune telling and getting in too early and then being wrong.
Well, if you believe in that too, just get in at any point and any time.
I think I will exercise a little caution.
Are you thinking of going long on this, or are you thinking it's going to hit the top and fall down? Or
I think that this thing wants to go higher, but I'm not sure it's ready. Like you said, the 3rd knock here and just finding a small seller. So what I'll be looking for is 450 here. This is kind of the low volume node. I'd like to see buyers step in if we go under that 450, proving that this whole kind of bottom area, this big volume profile here, saying that it's done trading down here. It wants to migrate up and beyond. And if it does come back down, it's just looking to fill in that kind of hollow gap. That's what I'd like to see. We'll see it. See if we get that. For me, probably not going to take this unless it gives a nice pop and a nice back test, and then it bases out, does my push down and then a higher low. That would look like break this up, come back down, higher low, right around there. Sorry, messy chart here. But so far, fortune favors the bold. Fortune favors those buying off of that 9-minute moving average. Like I said, just a little bit tricky up here. Not a bad look, though.
Just an update. Netflix continuing to fall. It's at 68.39 or so right now. We have 2 shares left. I am keeping us in the trade because it continues to crater, and our net profit now is 243.65. So looking pretty good.
You missed it. I dipped my toes long for the Roth for the long-term position trade. I took 5 shares at 70 even, got filled right on this knife candle. So I think that I am funding your dinner here, Jesse. But that's okay because
I'm going to take you out then for this, brother. This is going to be on me then. Since you lost, I won. Dinner's on me.
Hey, I'm down $10. I think I'll be able to fall asleep tonight. I don't think Netflix is going bankrupt, but hey, maybe I'll be buying a whole lot more at Josh's $50 despair level. For me, I'll be licking my chops if we do get down there because I think they're not a terrible company. That being said, some issues that I see the chat talking about that I want to bring up real quick here. We got I'm gonna call you Jack. We got Jack in the chat. Netflix headed to 50 by end of the year. He's with Josh. I'm seeing a lot of people going back to the movie theaters. We do have some big releases coming up, right? We have the Odyssey. Seeing a lot of bad press about that, but I think that's the terminally online, folks. I bet you anything it's going to have a great release, and people are going to be starting to say, hey, maybe I got fooled by a non-American spam account on Twitter that was trying to make me feel a certain way. Maybe I actually don't hate Christopher Nolan. Maybe he's a good director. I bet he's going to bring in some cash there, despite the negative press there. And Jesse, what else is coming up this summer? I feel like I'm missing one. Do you happen to know?
I know in November, I just saw previews to. Did you like the Rocky movies growing up? Did you watch any Rocky?
Oh, I mean, for me, it was more like a semi-ironic watch in my early 20s. But then, I wanted to be cool and be like, oh, it's so corny, blah, blah, blah. Sylvester Stallone's a silly actor. I love him. I love the narrative. It's not about fights. It's about overcoming adversity. And I don't care if it's a little bit hokey at times. I love him. I'm all about it.
I love him too. So in November, not exactly. It's a biopic pick on how Stallone made Rocky. It's like a behind the scenes biopic pick of the movie actually coming. Stallone actually demanding that he play in the role. It looks amazing. So if you haven't seen the trailer to that, I play Rocky. The movie comes out in November, so I'll be going to the theaters for that one.
That's a great name, and that is kind of what I was talking about too, about how it's more than just a movie about fighting. I mean, the whole story behind it. I mean, you're like, why the heck is that this guy in charge of, this guy starring in this? Well, he was the driving force in having this movie be created. If I recall, I mean, it wouldn't have been made without his, stick-to-itiveness. He really is kind of like the Rocky character. So you got to love that little narrative going on there. I'm just poking my head around looking for some other most anticipated movies list. So we got double.
Okay, sorry, I have to bring up this comment. Pops Mafia, I love this comment. So good, so sarcastic. He says, so the new season of Little House on the Prairie didn't save Netflix?
Whoa.
Apparently it did not. The new Paw Ingalls did not save Netflix. So, nope, don't think that will be happening. That one's getting a lot of bad publicity from what I've seen as well. So Netflix needs to keep trying. They need to find their new Stranger Things, whatever that might be. Maybe it won't even be in that sort of sci-fi genre. Maybe it'll be something else, but they need to come up with some new material, some really good, decent stuff.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, I can't remember the last Netflix original programming that I actually was really excited about. Now that I think about it, remember like when it was like, oh my God, Tiger King, and everybody's locked down on pandemic. It was like the thing to watch.
That was,
you
the
know.
thing.
What was the last one? I can't even think of it. So definitely worth noting. Yeah. So what else do we got going on here around the corner? We got Spider-Man coming out at the end of July. That's notable.
Okay.
What I'm excited about, there's a new Jackass
Spider-Man
movie.
Oh, is there another Johnny Knoxville movie?
I think I think they're calling it Best and Last. So I'm excited because that's like one of the most purest expressions of joy in my book. I don't care how old I get. I still think watching Johnny Knoxville get hit in the balls is really funny. What can I say? Maybe I'm just a guy, but it's some good old fashioned clean fun for the whole family. Maybe, I don't know. Regardless, that's where my money's going to be spent. But one more big one: Steven Spielberg back at it with Disclosure Day.
So that actually came out already.
Yeah,
that one came out, and from what I understand, forgive me in the chat if I'm wrong, from what I read, this thing really tanked. A lot of people say this was Spielberg's worst movie. It made no sense. He did terrible. He lost his touch. And I've seen this now several times from various accounts and YouTubers and people that are just saying, not worth even watching the 2.5 hours. So take that for what it's worth. If somebody saw it, they liked it, you can let us know in the chat, but I have only read negative reviews on it.
Oh, man. By the way, Ayush, Big Me to Fit Me in the chat, he has a trade idea, which I would love to get into, but I'm wondering, do we want to save this for Bring Your Own Charts tomorrow? Because that's right around the corner, and we got a lot of good stuff lined up there. So Ayush, unless you think it's time sensitive, I think it might be a great one to tease today for that session tomorrow, but your call there.
I'm tempted to get out of our position. We have 2 shares left. We're in profit. Not much left here to squeeze out, but I'm wondering, have we hit a bottom with Netflix? We're at 68.19. We're kind of flirting maybe with a floor of some kind. I'm on the 1-minute chart still. We're falling. We're still below that 9 EMA. And I'm just wondering, now we just hit 67, and it's still kind of, I just don't want to relinquish these last 2 shares we have if it's going to give us more profit, Steve.
Well, what you can do, I mean, I'm seeing this 9 moving average just guiding us on down on that last candle there. In my book, I mean, you could put a stop over 70. My entry, oof, not looking great. Long term, don't worry about me, guys. Anyways, you can put a stop there. You could even put a stop right over that last little red candle if you want to keep it real tight, real neat, and make sure you walk away with a nice profit there. But I like hanging on until it gives you a reason not to. I thought maybe we were seeing a bottom, and hey, it didn't pan out there.
Dip keeps dipping.
Dip keeps dipping. Dip keeps dipping, baby. What we can do, real quick, I'm curious. I want to check and see if there's any cool premiums jumping out at us. This is my little homebrew dashboard options thing. Still very rough in terms of the UI, so don't beat me up, graphics designers out there. I know it's ugly right now. That being said, so the big level to the downside here, 70 was the king node, with negative 11.6 million in net gamma there. So that was the expected move to the downside. You can see that expected move to the upside capped right around that 80 king at about 7 million in net gamma. So this did end up playing out. We got the bigger magnet to the bottom, pulling us on down. The next level below that, sitting at 65 handle at negative 5 million net gamma. So interesting action there. Just looking at this little heat map, this shows us the expiry for this Friday, next Friday, the 4 Fridays of the weekly expiries, as well as each monthly expiry here. And what we're kind of seeing is, there's the 70 node that we were, magneted to today. we're seeing that ceiling probably going to bounce. If we do get a pop, that 74, 75 is probably going to head bonk us. And more likely, I think we get guided down over the course of the next couple weeks. I'm seeing 65 and 64 both lit up to the downside for going into the end of the month there. So, hey, you guys might be dead on saying this is the start of a bigger move. Can I hold through the pain? Yes. Will I maybe take a $20 haircut instead of sticking with those? Probably not, actually. I think I'll stick with those 5 shares because I don't really care, to be honest. And I don't want to miss a good entry longer term. And I feel like I might otherwise. So a grain of salt there. I do probably anticipate 65 or 64 over the next month or so based on that there. And Talk needs to collect his flowers because he called SpaceX. I'm going to bring that up because I also want to collect my flowers. I didn't take the trade, but hey.
I'm still holding on to my 5 IPO shares with SpaceX. I feel like it's
Fair
somehow
enough.
it's like I'm connected here to Elon Musk. I know how much everybody in the chat loves Elon and how much Steve and everyone in the world just adores Elon adores Elon Musk. But I'm hanging on to my SpaceX because I think eventually it will curl back around and come back up. Could be wrong, just a trade idea of my own, but I am not too concerned with it. And I'm okay with losing for a little while.
If you're okay with being
on.
underwater, it's not a loss till you sell. And I think SpaceX does have a bright future. It's just a matter of getting through all of those haters, right? So to be clear, I don't even hate Elon. I nothing Elon. I just think he's cringe. But there's a lot of cringe people that don't.
There's a lot of cringe.
Oh my ire, I'm not mad at him for it. He's whatever. He can do his thing. That being said, I don't move my paths once I draw them until they play out or otherwise. So I was hoping for an entry here off the 9 or somewhere down here off the 9, off the retest of this high. I just straight up didn't get it. I just didn't get it. So I'm not in this trade, but I do think that we are picking up trajectory here. And now I will be looking for tomorrow a pop into this falling 5-day because that's been what's guiding it. A very strong downtrend. Talk said, see ya in the 130s, chumps. And guess what? We're knocking on that 130 door. Love it, love it, love it.
Zacharian wants to know, when is earnings call specifically? He thinks there will be more action at about that time. So do we know the exact call? Is that going to be at 3:30 or pardon me, 4:30 Eastern Standard Time?
Let me double check. Often the calls are just the hour right after. So let me double check and see if they're having it earlier. If so, I'd be more than happy to tune in. So thanks for checking in there. I'll get back to you on that in just a minute or two here.
Sure.
Once I get the information. As of now, Netflix trading down at the 68 handle here. And on the weekly, just to check in, see us way down here under the 200 now. So for me, I'll be setting an alert when we get back over. That's when I'll be looking at it. That's when I should have taken the position. I got a little antsy, Jesse. I just wanted to throw something at it. Right, kept it to 5 shares, though. So, hey, now I am a freshly minted bag holder of Netflix. I'm right there with anybody else who's been in this thing for the past year or so. Yeah, let me find out if I can find the exact earnings call time.
What launch tack? I didn't catch this. You said Elon is launching something today. Is this a SpaceX rocket he's shooting up in the sky, in the stars? Are we going to Mars? Is this the moon? What are we taking over with Elon here? Let me know, Tack. Let me know. Elon, we are still in the Netflix trade. It's just sideways consolidation at this point. We're hanging out at about 68.50. Still, roughly $6 profit remaining that we're kind of flirting with. I could take it. We could walk. We did really well with our trading today. Made almost 250 net. So we might take it. But I just want to see if we still have a call coming up. There may be more opportunity to, go down another $1 or $2 with Netflix, which could give us a little more profit.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Question is, are they going to kind of turn a corner? So a little more color here. It seems like management's blaming the Winter Olympics and World Cup for its misses, but I don't know. I don't know about all that. Let's see if there's anything else worth talking about here. Nothing's standing out quite yet.
It's a few Starlink satellites, Tack says, in military communications. Okay, good to know, Tack. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Another aspect which might explain just the weakness in Netflix for quite a while now is the stock split. I think it's really a bad look. Not a bad look so much as it feels like liquidity just gets destroyed on any stock. Well, the influx of liquidity becomes like a sell the news type thing is what it kind of seems like to me on these stock splits. Because, man, this is just what you kind of see very often. We'll mark out where the stock split occurred. Right there, right at the 200 day, and they just murdered it. I wonder if they didn't do that. Maybe it would have looked like a very different chart. Potentially hold the 200, not have a massive amount of selling right at that key pivot that just sent us into depths of hell. Of course, the whole deal with Warner Brothers, definitely a larger component of that move. But hey, worth mentioning there. Seeing that pop up a lot as I look for those earnings. So yeah, give me 1 second, Jesse, as
you're good. You're
dig
good.
around.
And we're Netflix. It is consolidating. It's down over 7%. We were up, just a little bit on Netflix today. It was up just a little bit, not even a full percent. Well, now after hours, we're down over 7% with Netflix. So
that measure move, you love to see it.
Not really good news for Netflix right now.
It's okay. This can chill for a while. We do have some more stuff around the corner. We have ISRG reporting in 10 minutes. I have about a 5-minute presentation for them as well, if we'd love to talk about that. But I was wondering, is this a good time to get into the that raffle, that drawing? If so, we can pop that up anytime. Checking in with some of these comments, though. Let's see. Coffee closed tomorrow. It's worth talking about. Oh, absolutely. Interesting. So we get a little bit of a breather. Let's see how the American market sentiments for chips are without that downward pull on now. Don't ask me what this thing is. I couldn't tell you, but all right, I think it's time to retire these drawings.
Cinco de Mayo on our charts.
There you go.
That's what it kind of looked like.
All right, guys. I'm just hearing from our producer. We are ready to go with this this earnings drawing. Of course, my WhatsApp is frozen, so I need to restart that app. But we'll be getting right back into that in just a moment. Jesse, would you mind taking the screen for just a second here? Because I think I'm going to have to shut a few things down.
Share screen. I had to do that myself earlier.
It's one of those days.
Yep. Okay, cool. I do have my shared screen on now, so whenever we scoot over to that.
The stream is buffering. No, Steve is buffering.
Zackerman says Netflix will host an earnings call with investors at 4:45 Eastern Standard on Thursday. Thank you, Zach. That's great. Good to know. So 4:45 Eastern Standard Time. So that would be
thank you.
14 minutes.
We got time. I think it's going to line up. We're going to talk about ISRG after the earnings draw, and then we're going to be getting into that call. I think we can touch base on the call there as well. And I am trying to rescue my poor computer's RAM. I'm happy to see Micron dropping because I've been needing this upgrade for quite a while. 32 gigs is not cutting it in today's economy here.
No, it's not. Yeah, MU down currently right now over 6%, down to 848.69. So we'll see. I think I could be wrong, but gosh, I feel like tomorrow is going to be a test because we bled today, we bled yesterday. Can it rebound a little bit? Was that just maybe a healthy little pullback to where we can, maybe get back up into the 900s? Maybe we won't touch $1,000 by the end of week, but if it could reach 920, 930 tomorrow, I wouldn't be completely bearish in the long run with MU and the semiconductors.
It's tough, right? Because when you have such a strong name that is just so dominant for so long, and this is the first real period of consolidation, it's hard to bet against it, but that also leads to this muddy chop where it's hard to let it go for longs, and the bears, they're so sure that they're right. So there's a lot of tension being built up. It does seem like bulls are starting to lose their grip on this, but I'm just seeing a lot of push and pull, a lot of tension, like I said. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see where it ends up. I'm fence sitting until we get definitive moves on one side or the other of this key kind of neckline here. We're testing it once, twice, 3 times. You know me, I always do say there's no such thing as a triple bottom, so I was feeling a lot more bullish before this last day of Kospi washout. I was fine with the 1 flush. As long as we don't lose this low, I'm feeling okay about this being a potential flush and recovery, and then rebase, take some time, have the chips trade sideways while the rest of the market can go sideways to up. I'd like that, but hey, if we pop up, reject and make a lower low, that's going to be, I think, all she wrote. Much bigger pullback on deck for the 200-day is where I'd expect chips to kind of settle, the memories trade to settle. So interesting stuff there for sure. Still fighting to get my earnings draw page up here. So Jesse, if that would be great. I usually just going to pop up the earnings on the screen. Apologies there. I'm drowning in tasks that are stuck apparently. Zackerman in the house. Full flush tomorrow, he says. Shorts in control. Once the fear gets high, bottom is close. So I like it. I'd love to see a big flush in that capitulation. That's what we really need to see to feel better about getting involved with a potential failed auction down or a potential finishing move, crescendo down. Because this is a very controlled takedown, despite there being multiple sidecars, multiple, what do you call it? Why is my brain not working, Jesse? What happens when an index goes down too much and they halt it?
Bad things.
Bad things. There's been multiple bad things, but still relatively no massive end of the world candles. I mean, that being said, it only took one of these to margin call 1/30th of the country. So spooky.
Looks like we're ready to make a drawing here.
Great to see, Adrian.
Who wins the 25K account?
Right, I'm ready.
Go.
We got Kurt S. in the house.
Right.
Let's go, baby. Kurt S. Step right up. Love it.
25K account to Kurt.
Yeah, that's not one of those wimpy 5Ks either. That's a big old 25. That's enough to you got all the leverage you need, baby. You can take a big old stack of shares off that, even something with a larger, share size like the Micron, and you can make some real money off that. So definitely one to trade on there. Absolutely good stuff. Thank you so much, Kurt, and everybody else who entered. We're going to be doing a whole lot more of these going forwards because we're just getting started here with the earnings season, Jesse. I'm excited.
It's going to be great. Yeah, no, and it'll be interesting, Zach, if there's a full flush tomorrow. Gosh, I hope not, but that'll be interesting. I got to interview Zach on my YouTube channel yesterday. He's a great trader, so he's got an interview with him on Jesse Trades. You guys can check that out. Usually we give links with our own YouTubes and stuff like that, so maybe we can get that up at some point. But yeah, Zach's a good trader, but I hope he's wrong about this. I hope the shorts are not in complete control, but we will find out tomorrow.
It's fight day. I love it. Hey, it takes two sides to make a trade, two sides for a market, and that's what we're all about here. Because a lot of times one of us will see one angle, the other will see the other, and I get a lot of love from the comments saying, "Hey, you were wrong, but Jesse was right. I faded you. I made money with him." Then Jesse's idea played out. Then your idea played out. We made money on both sides, and that's kind of the dream, right? Because I keep saying it's the name of the game today. Strong conviction, held lightly. I'm never going to take a trade that I don't think is going to work. But hey, new information comes, I'm going to hop right on out and amend my bias there because the best traders are not the best predictors. They're the fastest reactors, the ones that have a game plan, and they've been punched in the mouth. We know what it feels like. We don't panic, That's all part of the day, all part of the game, just another day of the office, right?
Yep.
That's what we're trying to cultivate here. Los Pollos Hermanos, nice name. Netflix 69 long for obvious reasons. Nice. I like it. Netflix and chillin' with the 69 level. I can't hate on it. I'm in at 70, so we're rocking together. You're my Hermano, Mr. Pollo here. Hopefully
it looks like we're doing a little curl action here, at least on the 1 minute chart. We kind of got some baby curling action going on here. Now we're just hovering above that 20 EMA. So be interesting to see if we can maybe make a move back to VWAP at some point. I'm going to cut our position if it does that move. But right now, we're only risking $5 at the moment. So, I'm feeling pretty good about what we made off of this.
Sitting pretty. I'm really happy with how you managed that one. Really nice stuff. Showing the boys out there what we can do with these accounts, because it's so nice not having to wait for the market to open to cash in on those puts, for example. So nice to be able to come down to our exact zone. I mean, you saw us where we were taking profit, bada bing, bada boom, you're out through this big wick here, which I loved, or into the big wick here, taking some off as soon as we went green. Oh yeah, sorry, thank you there. So Jesse, I think you took a position somewhere around 73, something like that. Then on this big wick, I know you top ticked somewhere over 75. Beautiful there. So in the 75, 76 area in our zone. So then when we started going green, you weren't going to get whiplashed out the top here. You were basing the trade on how to keep a safe core position there, and I love that. So trimming some when it went green there, you get the flush, get the big move, take some more off, and then you leave some runners for Valhalla, as we call it, for the big move. And hey, we got another leg down to the next level of interest. This one courtesy of Mr. Josh Smith popping in saying, hey, watch this level. Seems like he may have sniped the bottom there. I got in a little early, but off that big high time frame level of the 200 week. Now me and Mr. Pollo Hermanos, we're riding this one into the sunset. Hopefully we get that inflection point on the call, because you know what? Inline numbers, it didn't seem too drastically bad to me. I got to go over a few more of get a few more data points that I may have missed while I was yapping. But in general, big thing for me is that ad rev number. Seeing that margin, or that projection holding strong, is the biggest thing that I care about. That being said, I would have liked to see a little more oomph on some of the bottom line numbers there. We will see what they have to say on the call. Could be an inflection point. Because remember, were you with me for Nike, Jesse?
We did do Nike.
Yeah.
We did do Nike together. Yeah. Gosh, we've done so many of these now, Steve.
Yeah. We're building up a nice catalog. Nice little scrapbook there. But Nike, on the earnings, this thing was really a tale of two tapes, or two sides of the story, right? You know, the first print, the numbers, incredibly big green number, but we all knew they were going to sandbag the market, punished them for it, down to under the $40 handle. Then, after saying, I mean, their CEO basically said, hey guys, we beefed it. We really screwed the pooch here. It did not work out. We know we need to prove ourselves to you. That being said, I'm going to hand it off to my CFO. And then I had to log off. But next thing I turn around, Michael Noss, our resident quant, he was slurping up shares here at the 39.50 handle, essentially calling the bottom. And then Mr. Matt, their CFO, really did turn the corner on that and start saying all the right things to get that juice. Maybe we see that with Netflix. Obviously, no guarantees, but I'd like to see it. Me and my 5 shares would like to see it. Me and Mr.
Oh, beautiful. So I got out of our position just so that way it's all good. It's all done. 254.23 net. So we ended on that. 254. So, yep, we can. You can get an 8-ounce ribeye. All right, you can get an 8-ounce ribeye, and then I'll get a fillet, and it'll all be good. It'll all be good.
Ain't that the truth? So in 4 minutes. Oh, sorry, I'm lagging here. We are having too much fun. ISRG did just release. I was going to talk about that. They've been getting hammered from the first number print, and this is interesting. They might have actually pre-released. I had it on the tape for right now. Seems like they just dumped out of the gates. I had my alert set for higher. I thought this one would be working out a little bit better, but no, the washout continues, and it looks like I'm not ready to pull the trigger on these med techs yet. I was hoping this was the turning point. Still not seeing it there. Earnings call for Netflix should be starting in 4 minutes. So Jesse, I'm actually going to get that set up here on the backside here.
Absolutely.
Awesome. If there's anything you want to show these fine people.
If you want to push over to my screen here real quick, I just want to show Jesse Trades. This is my YouTube channel right here where I had just mentioned Zach in the chat. Him and I did an interview yesterday. He and I did an interview yesterday. You can check it out here, Jesse Trades, or at Jesse Pfister Trades. Check it out on the YouTube. The link is in the description. I've interviewed my wife. I've interviewed my son. And hopefully, Mr. Steve, hopefully, Mr. Steve and I can do an interview at some point. We could talk about Fibonacci levels and mountains that we see as we drive by. And now we see the charts in our dreams. We see them when we see trees and everything else. So if you want to check that out, I also do live. I go live. I try to go live every day for at least a little while, do some live trading, or at least a recap. So you can check that out, and I would much appreciate it.
Awesome. Love to see it. So, Jesse, I thought that it was just waiting here, and I think I'm having some more computer issues. I'm on the investor relations page and getting some spinning dialog windows. I'm going to send you a link real quick. Let me see if you can open this up.
Sure.
Otherwise, I might need to restart my stream. Okay, I'll share that with you, Ayush. Perfect.
And Netflix, man, Netflix is Netflixing and chilling, right? This is
no.
it's literally just chilling right now.
Oh, okay. Good chilling. Fighting with my WhatsApp again, Ayush. I'll be right in there. There we go. It's all coming together here. Awesome. I just got into the WhatsApp there, so I just dropped that for you there. So this is going to be the investor call. We're going to be talking about it, letting them chat it up, and then having some color commentary for you there. Should be starting in 2 minutes, so we're getting a little bit of a head start there. Hermanos Collins 75. I think that's very doable. That'd be up to VWAP if we do get some nice bullish commentary on the call. I'd really like to see them talking up that ad growth going forward. That's going to be the biggest thing I think that they can say. But
guys,
like you mentioned,
hey, I want to mention real quick, we're so close to 50 likes. We are so close. If you have not, just tap that like button. Just tap it. We're so close to 50. It helps us grow. There's a lot of people watching right now. So if you could help us out, like, subscribe. We much appreciate it. And thank you, everyone in the chat. Always good to see the familiar faces, the new names. It's always good. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. Yeah, we appreciate everyone, and yeah, each and every one in here. We don't like to beg, but hey, it means a lot to us. So appreciate all those thumbs up. We got 2 rich grannies in the house. That's an awesome username. Did you want us to unlike and then like again? Well, as long as you don't forget to like again, that's fine in my book. Maybe get the other rich granny in here. We can double our view counts, something like that. Who won, Snowman? Oh, we got Kurt S winning today's drawing. But hey, stick around. We got more right around the corner. 2 Rich Granny tapped it. I love to hear it.
1 like. Thank you guys so much. We did it. We got over 50, guys. And we get to 75. Can we get to 75? Let's see.
Show me 75. So this means we got another drawing coming for you free tomorrow, I believe. So yeah, stick around. Stay tuned tomorrow for another chance to win. There it is. That's that air horn. James G. Wilkers, number 50 in the house. We appreciate you very much. This is why I love all you guys. We don't have to be obnoxious. I mean, I know we're a little obnoxious, but Ross in the house, he's helping us out, riling up the forces, riling up the troops, getting y'all in here, smashing that like. We appreciate you so much.
Absolutely.
All right, what else we got going? Netflix, it's chilling. The call should be starting in a second. Ayush, let me know if you need anything on my side to get that going. Just checking in with my tab for it, and still frozen. That's frustrating. So if you guys want to crowdfund some new RAM sticks for me. Oh, okay. So sounds like it's actually not working for our producer either, which means I'm not sure how we're going to cover this. I'm going to look for any Twitter accounts that maybe, maybe able to get in there and see if we can figure something out. It's very, very strange. Yeah, it's not. Usually I have no problem with this, and it's just stuck here.
Yes, Jack, go ahead. Go ahead, Steve. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just filling time. As always, great to check in with you guys. But we got a great show coming up tomorrow. So as you guys might know, hopefully you know, if not, now you know, we're doing programming all day long, live streams all day long on Fridays, as well as the usual Monday through Thursday. So in the mornings, instead of the usual Michael Noss and Big Money Mitch with, I think we get Jane in there sometimes. Jesse, I think you appeared there sometimes as well. So obviously an amazing panel there. We're just switching up just a little bit on Friday, giving them a break, letting them sleep in a little bit, throwing it to me and Alejandra. We're going to be doing some of this live trading, focusing on ETFs, but of course, always checking in with whatever's moving and hot and taking those trades as well if we see it live. Either way, we'll be talking about our live trades, our highly, our high conviction trades, because on Friday, we're looking to play conservative. We're looking to talk about our wins this week and how we can maybe juice those numbers a little if we see a great setup, but also, being able to be grateful for where we're at, get our head right for the next week, and be able to hit the ground running each and every time. So come on in, spend your Fridays with us, hang out. It's nice, chill vibes. We'll be doing live trading, of course, but also decompressing a little bit. taking inventory and getting ready for the next week, like we talked about. Mornings with Ale and Steve. That's the first 2 hours of programming, starting half an hour before the bell, going for an hour and a half after the bell. After that, we got some more great stuff. We have my webinars, getting back into those too. So we'll be doing a special on how to pass those challenge accounts. You know what? It's easier said than done, but there are certain ground rules you can follow to really start systemizing your trading around these accounts so we can safely hit those targets. Because Jesse, I think this is a great example of the 80-20 we were talking about with the mentality, with the mental game, because I think that's really what it comes down to. So it'll be a perfect kind of segue from the morning session there into the webinar. So that's what we have.
Usman, I believe the Netflix earnings call I believe it's going on right now. So I think it's actually happening at the moment. It looks like we are getting a little bit of action. There we go.
Oh.
170 billion of addressable revenue in the countries and categories in which we operate today.
So
and
I'm
we estimate that we're only about 5%
this,
of TV view share globally. So we're
What's
delivering
coming
on our
from?
2026 plan, and we believe we got lots and lots of runway for of solid growth ahead of us.
Thanks, Spence, for that thorough answer. I'll
thanks,
now
Spence.
move us along to a topic on the topic of engagement, where we do have several questions. This first one is from Rob Sanderson of Loop Capital Markets. His question is, management has stated that engagement quality is improving even as reported viewing hours per member have softened. Can you help investors understand what internal metrics provide confidence and how these translate into lower churn, pricing power, higher ads monetization, etc.? At what point would slow growth in total viewing hours become a concern?
I'll take this one and unpack it a bit, since I know that there's plenty of interest in this topic.
I'm going to
Start by saying there is not a
baby.
linear relationship between view hours and revenue and profit, because all hours are not created equal. All hours don't provide the same kind of value to the business. And a really great example of this is live programming. So live events do a lot of lifting for us for acquisition. They're good for monetization. They drive ad revenue, fandom. They're also a promotional platform, but they do not yield typically as many raw view hours. So live, we expect will be 5% of our content budget this year, but we think that'll only be 1% of view hours. Having said that, 6 out of top 10 new member sign-up days over the past 5 years have come from live events. And if you compare that to another content category, take animation series, kids, family TV, it's also about 5% of our content spend, so the same amount of spend, but it's going to drive, we expect, 8% of view hours. So same spend and 8x the raw view hours. So you can see the differences there, even though, because as indicated by the amount that we're investing in both those categories being the same, we think they're doing the same value for the business. So we're constantly looking to improve across every dimension of engagement. We look at these as 3 dimensions: quality, variety, quantity, because they, taken collectively, drive acquisition, they drive retention, they drive the value that our consumers and our advertising partners ascribe to our service. We described in the last few earnings calls the progress we've made on quality over the years. We're not going to go into the details of that quality metrics because, frankly, it's taken years for us to develop it and vet it and assess it and improve it. And we think that those details are a competitive advantage. We're also continue to expand the variety of our entertainment offering. You see us launch new types of content like live, like video podcasts, cloud TV games. Those are all doing different things in our portfolio to support different needs from our members. And then on quantity, view hours grew 2% in the first half of 2026. That's an incremental 1.5 billion hours relative to the same period last year. It's a slight acceleration compared to 1.5% growth in 2025. And just to be very clear, like all those other dimensions, we remain focused on continuing to grow that number. And better understanding how we are doing at delivering member value, member love is critical to our business. We get it. We geek out on improving that understanding, operationalizing that understanding. And with regard to engagement, when I started about 20 years ago, we had one number to describe engagement.
This is important.
Hours. Just flat hours, no waiting, no adjustments. And very similar to how we've evolved other metrics in the business, since then, we've gone through about a dozen major iterations of our understanding that. We get more and more sophisticated because we know ultimately it's combined quality, variety, and quantity of engagement that translates into satisfaction and value for members. And that drives the strong business outcomes we see right now. Industry-leading retention. We see increased willingness to pay, strong advertiser demand, and those ultimately drive the top-level metrics of our business, revenue and operating profit, which are really the ultimate signs of our health.
I have this
Thanks,
visual of you geeking out, Greg. It's hard to see. It's hard to see Spencer geeking out, but I can see us geeking out.
Those are 20 years of debates and wonkiness.
Here they are giggling again.
Well,
Hermanos
when
was
you
saying
go
last
on
They're
next
let's
happy,
put it
they're
back.
not
We're
which
giggling.
tanking, and they're like,
from Steve
everything's
Cahall
great.
of Wells Fargo.
Watch
His
Little
question
House
is,
on the Prairie.
amortization expense
A
for
little bit of
content growth
bifurcation
is
there.
accelerating in 2026. How is the slate performing, and what metrics are we watching to see how this growth in content drives increased member value? How do we think about the expense acceleration converting into revenue acceleration?
Let me take that, Steve. Look, I think when it comes to programming spend, there are three really important takeaways. First, to remember is that the vast majority of our programming spend goes into the core TV series and film, where we have a really strong track record, more than a decade, of translating those investments into value for our members and returns for the business. I'm going to come back to that core in just a second, but the second one is that we're really disciplined investors. So there isn't some hyper acceleration of content investment. We grow the content spend slower than revenue while we're continuing to invest in a huge addressable market. So we're forecasting content expense up about 10% this year. It's a little higher than the 8% we averaged over the last 5 years and below the 14% that we averaged over the past decade. The third thing we want you to remember here is that when we expand into new entertainment offerings, new initiatives, we do it gradually. We do it where we believe we can add more value for our members, and we do it where we believe we have the right to win. And then we look for the positive signals before we invest at material scale. This is our MO. It's been our MO for some time. You ask how the slate's performing. There's a lot to be happy with in Q2. I Will Find You was our biggest launch of an original series this year. Swapped is on track to become the second biggest original animated film, right behind K-pop Demon Hunters, which is exciting. Speaking of K-pop, we have K-dramas like Teach You a Lesson, which is on track to become the second most watched South Korea show ever globally. And it's on track to be our biggest series in South Korea of all time. There's a
Guess I'm
show
not
called The
part of this.
Polygamist, which probably is not on your radar, maybe, Steve. But it's out of EMEA. It's another great example of our understanding of the local markets and the local regions. The Polygamist was a popular novel from Zimbabwe more than 10 years ago from an author named Sue Nyati.
You say the
And the teams adapted that
is
into a
that. I didn't know
soapy
that
series
too.
for South Africa,
Huh.
where it's now a huge hit and is traveling all over the region and all over the world.
Okay.
In Latin America, we've got a big season that just came back for Rosario Tierras. This was a show that started its life as a licensed show from TV Azteca in Mexico. After 3 successful seasons, we picked it up and produced an original season 4, season 5, and just greenlit season 6. So you're seeing the slate perform around the world, which is in a real differentiated part of our business. Now, with that said, with the core, we're also really pleased with the investment so far in our live programming. It plays a really important role, as Greg mentioned earlier, driving acquisition, accelerating ad revenue, fueling conversation, helping us to launch new shows. It's helped us build and it's also helping us to understand what are the benefits of live over the entire catalog. Mm-hmm. So, we're ramping up our live event slate. You saw the Kevin Hart roast in Q2, the Major League Baseball Home Run Derby earlier this week. What was really fun at the Derby, we produced an original and exclusive Hot Ones special that we shot on a baseball field to promote Will Ferrell's new series, The Hawk, which just launched today, actually. And I think it's a cool example of the intersection between our core, that core series, The Hawk, our expansion into new exclusive creator content with Hot Ones, with Sean Evans as a best-in-class creator. We're thrilled to be in business together. plus live sports, all coming together on a baseball field and on Netflix around the world. The result there is a highly attractive, scalable return on content investment, and it ladders up to healthy business metrics like Greg just detailed, and our strong growth in revenue, dollar profit, and profit margin.
Thanks, Ted. Our next question on engagement comes from David Joyce of Seaport Research
didn't care
Partners.
too much about that
The
program.
question is, attention is being raised that your second season viewing of series is dropping and therefore affecting engagement growth. How would you address this? Are you going to revert to releasing one episode at a time, or making longer seasons with more episodes, or managing the production process so there is less time between seasons? Ted, you want to take that?
Yeah, thanks for asking, David. I really appreciate the question because in aggregate, we are not seeing any material change in our second season viewing compared to season ones. Our second seasons are performing well within our bands of expectation. Very often we see drop off from season one to season two. It's very common in the industry, and it's even more so with us because we launch our shows so big. Our global reach, our discovery mechanism, releasing all at once. This enables us to find a very large audience early. Yeah. So our shows tend to start really big, while most other places, their shows start pretty small and occasionally grow from there. For example, I just mentioned The Polygamist from South Africa. That show's already had 24 million views in 5 weeks, and it's still
okay, that's your big draw.
When we look across the entire portfolio, across all the regions, all the content categories, our season 2 fall off is actually slightly improved this year relative to last year. Now, of course, you can pick any 5 data points to tell any story you want, but I'm going to repeat this. Our season 2 fall off is actually slightly improved this year relative to last year. So no changes in release strategies.
Thanks, Ted. The next question comes from Vikram Kesavabotla of Baird. Last quarter, you shared that the World Baseball Classic was a significant driver of signups in Japan. What have you observed with respect to the retention and engagement of these members since then? How has this influenced your perspective on the value of regional live programming?
I don't think I can pull it off. I don't have a.
I couldn't. Thanks for asking. We talked about this a lot last quarter. It was World Baseball Classic on Netflix in Japan.
My girlfriend said VNEX very out of style.
It became our most watched program ever in Japan. It was the biggest baseball streaming event ever. World Baseball Classic is kind of like these other big live events, and they behave a lot like our returning seasons of our big shows. They drive disproportionate signups, and because of that acceleration, they can exhibit slightly higher churn. But the results are exactly consistent with that trend and in line with our expectations and all of our modeling. So we're thrilled, and we're continuing to see, to lean into live events because they have a big outsized positive on the business. They drive conversation, drive net acquisition. So we're going to continue to build out that global live event calendar and expand it to include some regional live events as well.
Great. I'll now move us on to a series of questions around content strategy.
Oh, might be getting some breakdown here.
We have actually 2 that are pretty similar, so I will do my best to combine them.
No longer looks like
from Robert Fishman of MoffettNathanson and Rich Greenfield of Lightshed Partners. First from Robert Fishman, what is your openness to leverage Netflix's leading global scale to bundle with other streaming services like Peacock, or even consider a streaming channel store to compete with Amazon, YouTube, or Roku? On a related point, Rich Greenfield asks, while it's only been a few weeks, the integration of TF1 in France, is that integration driving higher engagement for Netflix, including non-TF1 content? Do you think there is a meaningful opportunity for Netflix to become a distributor or platform for third-party streaming services around the world?
Yeah, I can take this one. Since the very beginning when we launched our streaming service, we've always sought to expand the entertainment offering we've got in that service. We wanted to provide more value for our members. Our members consistently tell us that they want more from us. We see that in sort of usage behavior. We see it in any kind of testing or modeling we do around the space. And I would say that fulfilling on that customer desire for more has really been the driver for growth for our business for the last 2 decades. This partnership with TF1 is yet just another approach to expanding that offering. We're just adding to the range of capabilities that we have to do that and the mechanisms we have to do that. We built a leading streaming entertainment service by combining an unparalleled selection of high quality programming, best in class product experience. We've got a global footprint, big reach, and the ability then to deliver huge audiences, deep engagement, industry leading monetization. So whether through licensing or through new partnerships like TF1, we believe that we can help other producers, other services maximize the value, the relevance of the content that they invest in by finding those bigger audiences. And we have many, many examples of this effect, including now in this new model with TF1. We also believe that such partnerships are good for our members. They enhance the variety of our offering. They're also effective for our business. And it's early in the TF1 partnership. We're literally 4 weeks in, so there's a bunch that we'll learn through this process, but we are pleased with the performance we are seeing in that integration. We've been able to enhance our already compelling service for our French members with even more local French programming we know that they want to watch.
And you're laughing?
Adding third-party license content to compete.
Well,
right.
there you go. There you go. And my question is, when they're doing these earnings calls, Steve, do you think that do they have charts that they're literally watching as they're talking? Do they? Because that would be very nerve-wracking if you're the speaker and all of a sudden you see whoosh. It's like, shoot, there goes our stock and it's on me.
What I think is probably the C-suite, maybe not. They're probably doing their thing up there. They're like, we got to lock in. I guarantee you there's a whole lot of people glancing down at their phones going, that must be scary to see. Because if you don't have the exact numbers in front of you too, you're like, how bad is it? How bad is it? Or you might be like Elon and Jensen. You might be, delaying the earnings call just on the toilet, watching your Robinhood account, taking some trades before you go on. I don't know. Who knows?
Why not? We know Josh. Josh is still short. Go get it, Josh Smith. Get it, buddy.
Go, baby.
Our very own AK-47.
We got the crackdown. Question is, what are they going to say that can drive it even lower? I think it's just a steady drip down now. A few notes from listening to that call. First thing of interest is at least they learned from some of the really bad calls that we've seen. We saw where the C-suite, they just could not get out of their own way. So we talked about how that kind of happened in the beginning of the Nike call. The Citibank call, also not so great. One other one, Broadcom, of course, they kind of beefed it by Hawk Tan, the CEO, came out, started reading last year's numbers. Not the best look. Took him about a minute to find the right ones, then just powered through like nothing happened. Bad look there. Seems like markets have been punishing anything that they say wrong. So I do like they went straight to Q&A. I just kind of worry that they didn't have much really to say to stop this inertia. Yes. So that's worth mentioning there. In terms of the real story, because we had EPS in line, right at the consensus, 0.80 actual versus the 0.79 consensus. Slight beat, but nothing to write home about. Same thing with revenue, exactly in line. I'm sorry, not exactly in line. It's 12.6 billion actual versus 12.57 to 58. So very, very slight beat there. Wonder if this is a little failed auction. We're trying to reclaim. Nothing doing until we get back over that 68.50 though. That's that little high volume shelf that just built out. So what are we really seeing when we kind of get through those actual, headline numbers? The operational margin, again, just very, very slight beats. So it was a pretty tight spread on the numbers here. 33.4 was the actual number versus 32.6 guided. The one genuine pre-earnings uncertainty, I think that it did resolve bullish there. The guide was flat. It's just very underwhelming. I'm going through this, just like, what does it really mean at this price? I mean, it's just in line in my book. It's just kind of what the market was expecting. So no major things to rock the boat here. The margin, it could have broken the thesis, but it seems pretty fine here. A little bit better than promised, but nothing to send it completely in a change of trajectory. So I wish I had more definitive, really anything to say here, guys, but I just think it's not enough to really hit that inflection point. Maybe if we continue to see follow through in the other mega caps, we can see some of that, some of the fear starting to kind of get pushed out of the stock, all the weak hands getting out into this 200 week. Again, I'm sticking to the technicals though. I'm not an actual bull until we get back over the 70-71 zone, which represents that 200-week moving average. Jesse, anything you seeing jumping out from the call or otherwise that you'd like to touch on here with Netflix?
Excellent analysis, Steve. No, not really. I think you touched on everything. I mean, I'm just going to watch it on the daily. It is something that I do look at intraday. And now that we have fallen down into the 60 zone, are we going to really hit, like some people said in the chat earlier, are we going to hit that $50 mark potentially? Maybe. Yeah, not exactly good news for Netflix tonight. But I did like our trading, and I like that we were able to at least get some green here on our end, which was a lot of fun. But we'll have to see what happens to Netflix here, because it's chilling a little too much. It's going to need to wake up for the for the swing and the bag holders now.
I'm with you. I think it wasn't enough to really move the thing too drastically. It did get a decent move to the downside. I wouldn't be surprised if some of that kind of got absorbed and mean reverted back there. We got a question, by the way. What is the 200 week? I keep talking about it, and I should mention it again. The 200 week is the moving average, which I think is very, very critical for some of these longer term dip buys. I really like buying when you have a confluence of support between the 200 week and a prior high, which is why I was hoping, praying that this would provide a nice area to get in and to reclaim. That's the area that I'm still watching for that reclaim, to get actually involved in size. I have 5 tracking shares from 70. Not my best trade so far, straight down, but at the same time, as for long-term kind of placeholder, I don't think that they're a failing company. I think that they're a company that's going to transition more and more towards that ad revenue as we go forward. Maybe we're not seeing an amazingly bullish inflection point yet, but we also didn't get bad news here. And it's a mega cap when I think mega caps are in generally a decent position to be buys. So that's kind of the thesis here. Delonte, you and me, baby, we're holding this bag. That's okay. I think that it'll play out for us longer term. Like you said, it's a long-term investment thesis, and here we go. There we go. Now we get a nice little bid here. If we get through here, I think this could have been a failed auction to the downside. Call it equal lows. And hey, like I said, we're past the measured move. We can see some mean reversion back up to test the 70, and that's where I'll make my decision, whether I add to my position or get out for break even / a very small loss. But yeah, by the way, I don't know if I actually finished talking about that 200. Just always a good place to look for long-term investments if it aligns with another area of interest. So another one that I've been using this for recently.
I'm going to let you finish up, brother. It's been a pleasure. It's been great in the chat. Everybody's done so well. Thank you guys again for all of the likes, new subscribers. Great to see everybody in chat. I got to bounce, though, so it's great to be with you guys. Have a good weekend. I will see everyone next week.
Thanks so much, Jesse, and amazing trading today. See you next time. All right, guys, we are going to wrap it up here. How about, Ayush, if it sounds good to you, 5 more minutes, and then we can wrap this up. Got to leave you wanting more. That sound good? Perfect. So that's the plan, guys. 5 more minutes to get any charts and just wrap up anything else if you want my opinion on anything at all. More than happy to help you here while I'm with you. So there's another example of this 200-week moving average. For Microsoft, came in, tagged in with this old prior high, found a buyer just barely. Then, we got the moving average above, so I needed to wait for this reclaim. This week, we're finally getting it, so I'm allowed by my system to add into my Microsoft position. Yeah, good stuff there. Bennett in the house, always good to see you. Absolutely. Smoke Tuna, we did do the giveaway. Kurt S1 this week, but we got past our likes goal, so that means we got another giveaway coming out tomorrow. Stick around, stay tuned, and yeah, sure thing. So Gab asking, can you show me what's Trade the Pool? Can you show me the plan? Absolutely. Let's talk about it. I'll pull that up for you in just a sec here. Let me get it on my other screen. So what Trade the Pool is we are a prop trading firm. So what that means is that we provide the leverage. You buy an account, and it gives you access to leverage, whether it's 25,000, 5,000, 100,000. Essentially, it gives you the opportunity to trade in size. If you have a system that works and you are a consistent trader, then you don't have to worry about not having the upfront capital. So let me show you. Trade the Pool. Look at this beautiful website. Wow. They've upgraded it since last time I checked. So let's take a quick peek. If you have any main questions, you can find them in the frequently asked questions tab here, and it walks you through just about everything you might have to or might be curious about. We do day trading accounts. That's our primary product, but we also have swing accounts. So if you are more of a swing trader, you're not into catching those 1 to 5 minute, 10-minute, hour-long holds. You want to hold for the larger move overnight. Well, we got you covered. A lot of other prop firms, they don't offer that. The great thing about us is, well, you can essentially show that you got the chops. Once you pass that prop account, $200 can very easily turn into a $2,000 withdrawal. So just passing one of these can cover a lot of blown accounts here. And that's what we kind of recommend to the newer traders. If you are not consistent yet, well, this is a great way to make it real. You're trading real money. So it's not the same as a paper account, right? Because those, it just doesn't have the same psychological impact. And therefore you can't really practice this, you know? It's like, it's like trying to become a UFC fighter by playing a lot of the video game. You know, to some extent, you'll learn strategy, you'll learn maybe some things here and there, but at the end of the day, you got to get your hands dirty, roll up those sleeves, and actually put some risk on the table. So this is a great middle ground where you're not going to risk, you know, blowing a bunch more than you realize. There's always going to be losses incurred when you start trading, but this is a great way to either start, or if you're, you know, maybe just don't have enough capital right now to make it worthwhile to trade shares, this allows you to get that leverage if you're a good trader and not risk stupid options and stuff like that. I know we've all been there. Most of us have been there, blowing a lot of money on degenerate trading strategies. This is a way to get leverage without the same risk that you would buying 0-day options or something. Because let's be real, that's the only way you're going to get access to 100 shares of SPY if you're under $1,000 in your account. You know, with a couple $100, you could be trading 100 shares of SPY, 100 shares of triple leveraged SPXU as well. You could do something like that. So you can get a lot more juice for the same amount of money without risking a massive downside. You know, don't have to take out a loan or put a lien on your house or anything like that. So yapping here, we do have, let's look really quickly at the options. Whoops. I accidentally clicked onto our earnings beat challenge, so I'm going to talk about this just for 1 second because this is a brand new thing. If you are on the fence about joining us at Trade the Pool, we'll make an account. Come on in, check out our earnings beat challenge. You can get $20 loaded in your account, $20 tokens, credits, free money. It's free money, guys. You can get that just loaded into your account by taking I believe it's just by placing an earnings challenge bet. So great stuff there. And I think we got a little bit of visitor here just to wrap it up before we head out the door. What's up, Josh Smith? How you doing, brother?
Hey, first off, I want to say thank you for everyone that joined today. First off, because what 60 plus likes on today's live stream. That means I think we're doing another 25K eval giveaway tomorrow, my friends and family. Join us tomorrow. I think Steve's promoted it enough. Him and all 8 will be fronting that live stream tomorrow morning. So get ready to get another 25K eval psychology segment tomorrow. Call-in show. The Bring Your Own Charts tomorrow. So we got a lot of fun tomorrow. But yes, I had to join to see if Steve was still live. And he was bringing the heat. 60 plus likes on today's live stream. How was Netflix? Well, just like we said, she's going down to 50s, baby. Who's ready for 50s? Well, it's coming up. Possibly by Friday. Oh, yeah, that's tomorrow. I keep forgetting, honestly. This week's flown by, Steve. Friday. Friday.
Yeah, cool.
Chat ever. Yeah. Has someone in chat ever? Yeah, Pops Mafia. I literally just got done doing a one-on-one. His wife won one. He was telling me I was doing a one-on-one with him Monday. And he was, this was last week, or it was in the last week or so that I was doing one of those. I was doing the giveaway, right? All right, and the winner is... And called his wife's name out, and she was like, "That's not me." And the husband that I do the one-on-ones with, like, "Yes, it is. Yeah, that's you. I think you won." And like, well, we'll find out if we get the email. And sure enough, got the email, and the wife is already using the 25K account.
Beautiful. Love it. Yeah, we got a question in here saying, "Is anybody in chat won?" Absolutely. We got some people in here that definitely have won. I think Usman's won. I want to say a few of you in here have, and definitely every single time.
I think Nigel's won one, possibly two as well. Yeah.
I'd say probably about a third of our regulars in here have by now. So come on, keep putting your name in the hat, and you'll get it drawn eventually. I promise.
Good question from Gab. I saw you showing that off beforehand. What Trade the Pool is? Yes. We are a prop firm that you can win a 25K eval tomorrow just by coming on over and watching our live stream, submitting your name and your email address. But we have evaluations from 5K all the way up to 200K. Don't trade with your own capital. Risk with ours, and that way there's no risk. Limited risk trading. Why? Because we have the prop firm for you. I love it. And shorting, which is huge. Now, this word really comes into key. If you love to short plays, and especially like myself, small micro cap, these little, $1, $2, $4 runners that are popping up and usually have a great chance to dump right back on down. Other brokerages, you can't short on them. And if you can, like the ones that you have to pay for to be with every month, they pay you to be, you have to pay to be there. Then you got to pay to locate the shorts. And then there's sometimes you don't even use the shorts. That sucks. Not here at Trade the Pool. You can go short anything all day for free. Go short. I'm trying to find the email. Got it, Mr. Jackie. I was just popping in to say thank you for everyone to join in today. I'm sure Steve killed it there. 60 plus likes. So I was like, that's awesome. Another 25K eval giveaway for tomorrow. Steve, look what I have right here. Look at this.
Well, what you got?
I had 2 Great Danes. Now just one, but the Great Danes heads are coming onto my arm, which means one and one thing only. Dad, feed me. Dad, feed me. So I was just jumping back on. Ayush, our producer in the background. And again, not only thanks to you guys for joining today and all the likes and the comments with Steve, with Jesse, but big shout out to Ayush in the background, our producer here from not only it's here in America in the morning all the way to the afternoon, but for him, it's starting in the afternoon all the way to the evening hours. So big shout out for him to be around all day long for us. And of course, for Steve, putting in all the extra time over on Trader TV, back over here to Trade the Pool. Can't thank you enough either, my man. So just hopping on the stream to give a bunch of love, a bunch of flowers, and hand out some daisies, some roses, some lilies, whatever you like. I got them for you.
Much appreciated, Josh. Always great to have you in here. I appreciate all you guys. I see Cosmic Rays in the chat. They got an account. I see, let's see, Jack is trying to find the email. So let me see if Jack, if you were the winner, we called your name today. Absolutely. So if you're not seeing that email, what you can do is you can go into the trade.
2 to 3 days. 2 to 3 days.
Okay.
So Cosmic Rays, and Cosmic Rays could be a good helper outer. Cosmic Rays, from when I announced your wife's name to when y'all actually got it to use, how many days did it take to get the email? Was it 2 days, 3 days, 1 day? That would help out Jack as well. And so Jack, it usually is 2 to 3 business days. Actual name is Kurt. Okay, Kurt. I love it. Kurt S. So Kurt S. Going from Jack Eason to Kurt. All right, Kurt Dog. All right, Kurt Warner. That's the first thing I think of when I think of Kurt. Or Kermit, maybe Kermit the Frog. But yes, Jack should take about 2 to 3 days. And if it was just today, a lot of people in our office are out tomorrow. So it may not be until Monday until 3 business days. Okay, cool. So if not by Monday, Mr. Kurt, Tuesday, you should get it. And if you don't get it Tuesday, which I hope I see you in chat tomorrow while we're live, Monday when we're live, Tuesday when we're live, and then Wednesday, if you don't get it somehow, you on the live stream, as the last few days, I want to see your name chatting it up. Hey, I've been here. You said to chat it up, but I'm here. I still haven't gotten my eval. You know what I'm going to do? I'm sounding the horns, baby. And I'm going to hit up everybody I know and Trade the Pool to make sure Mr. Kurt gets his evaluation.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And just real quickly, guys, I just want to say we're not just giving out little handouts, little freebies. This is $120 value here that we're just handing out to you guys, whoever happens to win. Just about every day now we're giving one of these out. So be sure to come on in, tune in. Eventually, we will draw your name from that hat if you are here for long enough. I promise you that. It's just numbers, and I'm a numbers guy. So great stuff.
And Umer asked, how can we win this? Umer, that'll be for tomorrow. So come join the live stream tomorrow. We already did a 25K eval earlier. That's what Jack's asking about. He's like, where's it? I want it now. Where's my eval? I need it now. Well, that was for the fact that we had 50 likes on our live stream earlier today. We all did it back to back. Not only on our live stream that covers the morning into the afternoon, you came back here in Power Hour and After Hours and gave us 50 more likes. So tomorrow, join Ale. Join Steve in the morning. We're going to have another 25K eval giveaway tomorrow. So what do? You come join our live stream. There will be a little link in the chat that is posted and pinned there all morning long. You're going to click on that link and enter your name and your email and click submit. And then we're going to most likely do the 25K eval tomorrow during the call-in show, or not call-in show, the week recap with Steve and I. So we'll probably announce that tomorrow between 1 and 2 p.m. So the main thing is just join us tomorrow for the live stream, which starts at 9 a.m. Eastern. We'll have a link for you to click on to enter the drawing, which will be given later in the day. So come, and regardless, even when you register, the one you registered for earlier was the one that Jack just won. So now you got to come back tomorrow, Jack, so to speak, and fill out and do the same thing again. And so come tomorrow for another chance to win 25K, brother.
Yes, sir. Come for the freebies, stay for the Stevies. How about that? There you go.
The knowledge, the fun, the entertainment. You and Ollie do such a good job breaking down charts and the psychology segment for tomorrow. So it'll be a great Friday. Not a lot of people cover Friday's live stream, so it's definitely a good one. So you guys come back over tomorrow and join Steve and Alejandro.
Awesome. Thanks so much, guys. We're going to give our lovely producer on the backside a break because it's been a long day for him, and it's been a long day for us too. So, guys, thank you so much for staying with us, trading with us. Stay safe out there, and you know where to find us tomorrow. Thanks so much from Trade the Pool. See you next time.